Each year, hundreds of people buy an Abbotsford apartment. Sometimes they buy an apartment in a crappy complex, or they're getting advice from people that don't know what they're talking about. Avoid these mistakes so you can save $1,000 in special levies, the stress, and so much more. Grab a notepad and a pen and get ready to hear about the top mistakes you should avoid when you're buying your Abbotsford condo. Number 1, not holding for the long term. This is the number 1 mistake people buy. If you're not planning on holding on to the Abbotsford condo for a minimum of 5 years, you have no business of thinking about buying a condo. If you're new to Abbotsford, maybe it's best for you to rent. Or if you have plans of relocating for a potential job, then you might want to wait. But if you are one of those folks that are thinking about buying a condo and calling this place home for the next couple of years, just remember real estate does go up in the long term. But in order to see a return on your investment, you have to hold on to a minimum for 5 years or develop Owen Bigland's golden holding rule of holding on to it for a minimum of 8 to 10 years. Number 2, buying the wrong complex. There's a difference between buying a condo in an A+ complex versus an average complex. Now you're probably asking yourself, why did my friend Joseph or Sally buy a condo in a crappy complex? They were getting advice from the wrong people. If you're looking to buy a condo in Abbotsford, you want to work with a local realtor that has experience of helping buyers, investors, and sellers of selling condominiums. When you're working with me, you get a knowledgeable realtor that knows the difference between an A+ strata versus an average strata. When I'm showing my clients units, we're not going to look in shitty complexes. We are going to look at the best of the best. Number 3, buying on emotion. Yes, the condo might look really nice the way it's staged and presented, but keep in mind that the listing agent and the sellers probably did a good job of decluttering the condo and making it look the way it is. So if you are thinking of buying that particular condo, make sure to do your homework, making sure that it's located in a great location and a great strata complex. The last thing you want is buying a beautiful condo in the wrong complex, even worse, in the wrong location. That's a recipe for disaster. Number 4, neglecting the strata document. When you're buying a condo, whether it's $300,000, $600,000, or $700,000, make sure you take the time to review the strata doc or work with a realtor that will help you review the strata documents. And if you need help deciphering certain things like reading the depreciation report, reviewing the financials, and the strata minutes, work with the right realtor so they can explain the different terminology and the different things to look for. When you're reviewing the strata documents, you want to know how much money is in the operating fund, contingency reserve fund, and is there a recent depreciation report. If there is a potential depreciation report, you want to know, are there any potential special levies coming up for replacing the windows, the water piping, the roof, and the list goes on. When you review the strata documents, you get a personal snapshot of the strata complex. You'll know if the strata council is proactive in their day-to-day management. You'll know if it's managed by a top quality strata company. The last thing is you'll know that you're making the right decision with your investment. Number 5, not getting pre-approved. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes I hear from first-time home buyers or people that are looking to buy. I usually get a call all the time for my listings, and this call is from a first-time home buyer. They're calling to ask if they can view the unit, and when I ask them if they're working with the realtor, the answer is no, and they will say something along the lines that, hey, we just started our home search, and my follow-up question to that is, are you pre-approved? And they usually answer no. If you are looking to buy an Abbotsford condo, whether it's a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom condo, is to get pre-approved. If you don't have access to a mortgage specialist, then you want to be working with one of the mortgage specialists on my team. Recently, for a unit that I sold, the buyer was working with a new mortgage broker. And what happened was, on the final day of the subject removal, I got a call from the buyer's realtor, and the tone of voice of the buyer's realtor was disappointed. And what he told me was that the buyers needed an extension because their mortgage broker dropped the ball. You see, folks, there's a difference between working with a mortgage specialist versus working with someone that works at the counter at a bank and might be helping you with their mortgage. And in this case, it was a person that was newly hired at the bank and was working at the counter. Luckily, the sellers agreed to give them the extension and the buyers were able to remove the subjects the next day. The last thing is avoid buying a pre-sale. The reasons why you shouldn't buy a pre-sale is I'll get you a better deal on a tangible product that's already built. We can view the unit and we can review the strata documents for the particular unit. Also, the thing is, folks, yes, you might be buying a brand new unit that's going to be built in 2 to 3 years, but there's also a possibility that there might be defects with your unit, complex, or the developer might continue to delay the completion date. If you still are looking to buy a brand new unit, then a better time to buy brand new construction is when the project is completed and the original owner might be looking to sell. Buying your first home can be stressful. That's why you want to surround yourself with the right realtor and team. Click on this video on the side where I talk about the different signs you should be looking at when you're looking to buy an Abbotsford apartment. If you like today's content, make sure to hit the like button and smash the subscribe button. I'm Dhindsa, and I'll see you next week.